Gavin Newsom is a great spokesperson for the Biden administration. And I want you to listen to how he ties in IVF as well as the abortion issue to really tag not only Donald Trump, but the right. Very important. Check this out, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Where a bill has been proposed that would punish adults assisting minors seeking out-of-state abortions.
Doctor, statement, please.
Trump Republicans want to criminalize young women who travel to receive the reproductive care they need. Don't let them hold Tennessee women hostage.
I began by asking Newsom what President Biden should do to respond to the Alabama ruling.
He's speaking with clarity, moral clarity, forcefully. The vice president speaking with moral clarity, forcefully all across this country. We've defined the lines of this debate. We've been on the offense, not on the defense. The Republican Party is on the defense on this issue. You saw that with the flip-flops of Haley. You see that in terms of Trump, though he's still trying to figure out exactly his position because he's out there celebrating the fact he created these conditions in the first place. But here's the point I want to make, and that's what this ad's about. The conditions are much more pernicious than they even appear. These guys are not just restricting the rights, self-determination to bear a child for a young woman, but they're also determining their fate as it relates to their future in life by saying they can't even travel. These travel restrictions modeled after a version that passed in Idaho is now being proposed in Tennessee, in Oklahoma, in Mississippi. The AG himself of Alabama wants to criminalize travel, not just for children, but for adults seeking reproductive care. That's how serious this moment is, and we need to be even more aggressive, I would argue, and that's what this ad represents.
Given the seriousness of this moment that you have just laid out, going back to the question, is there a unilateral and executive action that you think President Biden should be taking to deal with the IVF piece of this, and then, as you say, the abortion travel ban piece
there's no daylight in their efforts and the work they're doing, and they are investigating exactly where their position can land in terms of the laws itself. But at the end of the day, this is a serious threat, not just what's happening in Alabama, regardless of what Trump tweets out saying the legislature in Alabama should do something about this. I worry about the United States Supreme Court that, again, set the tone and tenor for the debate we're having today. And again, it's not just a war on travel. It's not just a war on reproductive health care. It's also a war on women more broadly defined, including, as we know, contraceptives.
You talk about the Republican position on this. NBC News has confirmed that the GOP frontrunner, Donald Trump, has told people privately that he is considering supporting a 16-week federal ban that would include exceptions. You've been clear, and here again today, your support
for generous of them
rights.
To include exceptions. What a kind soul. In 16 weeks, it's because it's an even number?
Well,
I mean, these people aren't serious. So he supports, this is what he said. He supports a national ban. And if you're Lindsey Graham and others, they're going to bring that down well below 16. He will sign a national ban. You want to understand the contours of this debate that we will be having over the next 9 months, ironically 9 months, between now and November, and the consequences of Democratic Party not succeeding in Biden's reelection. Just consider the fact that he said that part out loud.
We know that there are reports that former President Obama warned President Biden not to underestimate Trump.
Never.
Do you believe that Democrats are underestimating Trump in this moment, his strength potentially in a general election?
I think he's weakness masquerading as strength.
Now, that was very important. And let me tell you why. Because in 2024, you are going to see that the Republicans are going to try to tie everything immigration. They're going to use a couple of a murder and the attack on a couple of cops and a few other mishaps or criminality by undocumented workers to try to build a false narrative. They won't. It's not the narrative that they're going to build of where we really have problems. Massive use of guns in this country with people killing people like flies out here. They're going to use those 4 incidents and make it an immigration issue. Well, you know what? When you want to win elections, you get to something that people can taste. And women, all women can see their rights being taken away. So you have to hammer at that. And people are immediately seeing their safety with guns, not because of immigration, but guns, Republican policies. They have to hammer that the insecurity in this country is caused by conservative policies, because they are caused by conservative policies, the policies that harm. So somebody asked me today if I am worried about November. The truth of the matter is, November, the only thing that would worry me is Democrats and progressive taking defeat out of victory. What I honestly believe now that I'm seeing some numbers is that this should be a landslide election, not just in the presidency, but throughout the country, both for policy, Congress people, state legislatures, etc. It's going to be a blowout for Democrats if they stay on message and if they go to people's hearts and if they remember, don't forget the middle of the country, because you know what? We can win it all this time around.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.